The final score, Stockport County 2, Wrexham 1. Real disappointment for Wrexham, obviously, but especially having scored within the first minute and then looked comfortable in the first half and control of things. But a couple of sucker punches, a set-piece goal after 48 minutes, a breakaway goal in the 80th, and a Stockport side that have been struggling for form at home and who, in all honesty, didn't really threaten, have got themselves a kickstart to their season after an alarming beginning to the campaign, especially here at Edgeley Park. And Wrexham, well, they've got a lot to chew over. After such a fabulous start as well, Wrexham, maybe unsurprisingly, after beating the league leaders last Saturday, had an unchanged team, and within 51 seconds they were ahead as well. Great work by Rob Lainton as Whitfield mishit a shot. Lainton saved it easily and then hit a terrific driven assist right through the centre. Mullen sprinting onto it. The keeper on his debut sprinting out of off his line, a centre-back coming across. Mullen just beat both of them to it and just, with the most delicate of flicks, dinked it over the keeper. A fabulous finish, and Wrexham were ahead within a minute. And quite frankly, they were in control and continue to be so. Within 10 minutes again, Mullen's presence was starting to cause problems. A innocuous looking ball played into the area, but Barkley panicking and slicing it away from his goalkeeper's grasp, seemingly just unsettled by the fact that Mullen was lurking without necessarily looking like he was going to be able to get on the end of it. Then McAlinden went close, getting the ball 25 yards out, drilling in a powerful shot. It took a nick off John Rooney, an excellent block by him, and just went wide of the left post. It wasn't until the 24th minute Stockport had any real threat, and it was self-inflicted by Wrexham. I've got no problem at all with Wrexham trying to pass the ball out from the back from a short goal kick, but on this occasion James Jones was a bit careless, turned into trouble after Tozer passed to him and was dispossessed. Madden set himself for the shot, but credit to Tozer, who made himself big, hurled across and got a good block on Madden's shot. And then from the rebound, it was Stockport County under pressure. Wrexham with a superb break, Ponticelli holding the ball up well, McAlinden timing a lovely pass into the path of Mullen, running at the last defender. A nice little first touch by him, just knocked the defender off balance and opened things up. He hit the shot well, but the keeper again with a good save with his foot came to the rescue. Then Wrexham continued. Tozer with a long throw which was cleared, Lennon putting it back over the top, and Mullen managing to get goal side as Stockport's backline didn't quite come out in unison. Getting goal side, flicking a header on towards goal. Good save this time as well by the keeper Ross, diving to his right and just clawing the ball clear. Stockport had one more opportunity in the half from a corner. Rooney looping it beyond the far post. Barkley managing to lose his men. This would be a warning for later, but made a poor contact and basically just shoved the ball back across the face of goal at the far post. Actually, Rooney managed to keep the ball in. And then Young, in a similar situation in the last minute of the half, swept in a corner, but the contact at the far post just sent the ball back across the face from Tozer. And again, Young it was who kept it in. On neither of those occasions maybe did the centre-backs do as much as they ought to have done with them. They certainly made the most of it in the 48th minute, though. Stockport from a set piece, swinging a corner into, again beyond the far post by Rooney. Madden rising to plant a powerful header home. There were bodies all over the place at the near post and players went down, but Wrexham didn't argue too much for a free kick, and they were behind. The rest of the half, there wasn't that much going on. Wrexham didn't really massively impose themselves on the game, but with the better side, they had the half chances until they got hit on the counter. Wrexham had a shout in the 53rd minute for a penalty for handball. Difficult to see from this angle whether there was any merit to it. Mullen getting it well to knock the ball down. Ponticelli looked to be running onto it with a clear sight of goal. Defender came across and intervened. Both Wrexham players vehement it was a hand that made the contact. Referee wasn't interested. Then Mullen doing brilliantly to dispossess Freyers and get on the back of the defence. He chipped in a cross which looked harmless enough, may have taken a little nick though, and it somehow carried itself through to James Jones, who cut it onto his right foot, hit a powerful shot which was really well blocked. When the ball ricocheted out, Young retrieved it, and then Madden made a horrible foul on him, jumping in on him from behind to take him out, and was maybe lucky to get a yellow. Young jumping to his feet to complain might have been what saved him. Immediately Wrexham brought Dior Angus on for Ponticelli, and soon after that there was another opportunity. Young sweeping in a corner into the near post. It was an awkward height, about knee height. Tozer met it on the volley 8 yards out, but just couldn't wrap his foot around it enough to pull it on target. And then Devontae Redmond came on for Liam McAlinden, and 2 minutes later, Rydell, who came on the same time as Redmond, scored the winner. His first touch was with his hand, his second touch was to poke it into the net. Whitfield had been outstanding in the second half of Stockport, breaking up and down, causing Tyler French problems. He burst down the left-hand side, beat French, drove in across. Madden's shot was blocked, it ricocheted across, and Rydell was there to be fed in and poked the ball past a helpless Leighton to give Stockport the lead. Wrexham responded, throwing Aaron Hayden up front to try and give some sort of desperate impetus to their attacking play, but it failed. The only moment of threat they managed was 8 minutes from the end, a long ball through the middle, Angus's pace causing a problem. It looked to be Hogan's ball, but Angus just beat him. Unfortunately for Angus, Ross had acted decisively and roared out of his penalty area. He just got there first and cleared it. Wrexham was shouting for that handball. Certainly if Ross had misjudged and made contact with Angus, he'd have been off. But not only that, if Ross had misjudged and handled it, he'd have been off. The referee said it was his midriff. And that was that. Wrexham huffed and puffed. They had 5 minutes of added time, but they never threatened to pull themselves back into it. Concern for Wrexham. Still early days, but the fact is that once again they've got on top of a game, looked really good, and not finished it off. And this time, having rode their luck against Dagenham and Woking, they've been punished. Individual performances. Leighton, fabulous assist, nothing else to do, couldn't help either at the goals, had no other saves to make in all honesty. The 3 central defenders, I thought Tozer impressed, he's strong and in control. Alex Reid's pace gave him a little bit of a problem, but not so much that he couldn't keep it under control. He'd keep Reid where he wanted him, even if he'd beaten him there to the ball, and wait for help to come along. Hayden had a couple again of strange hairy moments, but also won a lot of good challenges. And on the other side, Lennon, I think, was my man of the match, to be honest with you. Very impressive. Got through the 90 minutes, which is good news. Looked very composed on the ball. Some beautifully timed sliding tackles as well. Lennon was terrific at the back. The wing backs, French, was troubled by Whitfield in the second half, in all honesty. When Whitfield started to run at him, he didn't like it much. Neither wing-back really caused many problems going forwards. I think Stockport, to be fair, were prepared for them, and so they tended to be used more to stretch play and then try to feed it back inside. Record likewise, although Record was maybe a bit more solid defensively. In the centre of the pitch, Young, especially in the second half, was in a very good shift, really working hard, lots of strong tackles by him. Maybe didn't quite get the passing going as much as he'd have liked to. Similar story for Jones, made a couple of errors early on, but did a lot of good continuity work. Really rolled his sleeves up late on trying to drive play forwards, but couldn't really get anything going. McAlinden did well, I thought. He was lively, he linked very well with Mullen. He was picking up little pockets of space, he was playing nice little balls in well-timed passes into the path of Mullen. The problem for him, the problem for him, I didn't mean to start it like that, but I'll say it, he got subbed. that limits your ability to do anything, doesn't it? 12 minutes left. Was he tiring? I don't know. He was still very involved, but he was certainly surprised when Devontae Redmond came on to replace him. And then up front, Mullen's a constant threat, but Wrexham needs to be getting a bit more service to him, I suspect, with players around him. Ponticelli, to his credit, I think worked very hard, put in a very good shift, even though he didn't really have any sight of goal and didn't really pose any attacking threat as such. But his movement creates space for Mullen. Unfortunately for him, he just couldn't get any real opportunities to do anything threatening. But he worked hard enough. Frustration for Wrexham, huge frustration for Wrexham, and for the wonderful support who came to watch the game as well. A real disappointment, but these things happen. With a final score of Stockport County 2, Wrexham 1, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.
Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe as well so you don't miss out on any of our content, and click the bell to get notifications.